heard a pastor recently speak that the new covenant wasn't given to the Gentiles, but to the Jews, and that we are grafted into to the tree with the Jews. And the illustration was the disciples at the Last Supper, when he talked about the new covenant. They were all Jews.
Okay, your thoughts?
Well, no, the gospel is for everybody. And here's the distinction. Jesus often would say, I'm called first, speaking of himself, to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So he was called to the Jew first, but not only to the Jew, because we got to remember the woman at the well was a Samaritan Gentile. So Jesus reached out to her. When Jesus gave to Peter the keys of the kingdom, those keys represented the fact that Peter would be the apostle that opened the door of the gospel and the kingdom to both Jew and Gentile. On the day of Pentecost, he's the one that preached to all those gathered Jews, those that were there for Pentecost. But then when he went to Cornelius's house, he was also the one with the key that opened the gospel to the Gentiles. And they marveled. And the men that were with Peter marveled that the Gentiles of Cornelius's household were all filled with the Spirit, just like the Jewish believers had been. And Peter went back and reported to James and the brethren that God had opened the door to the Gentiles, and they marveled at it. But that was God's plan all along. He went to the Jew first, and they rejected it. The Jewish folks rejected the gospel and rejected Christ. Even Paul washed his hands of the Jews one day and said, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear the gospel. From henceforth, I'm going to the Gentiles. So in the bigger picture, from 30,000 feet up, the gospel was always meant to be for everybody, first going to the Jew and then to the Gentiles as well.
Yeah, and the second part of that would be the new covenant was not given to the Gentiles, but given only to the Jews. Then what covenant is the Gentiles under? Even their own question doesn't make any sense.